Hey there, it's Keith Hayden, and in this quick video, I'm going to show you how to quickly write a compelling sales copy page for your book using Claude AI. Let's get started. What I like about Claude over something like ChatGPT, which I'm very familiar with at this point, is its large context window. The large context window, if you don't know what that means that it can take in a large amount of information and process it at the same time, so you can ask it questions about that large information. The classic case is The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is about 47,000 words. They fed it The Great Gatsby and they were able to ask questions about it. So you're going to do the same with information for your book. So here I have a document which is kind of my master document for the book that I'm writing with the help of AI. So I have all of my information about my book in here. If you haven't been using AI to help you write your book, then you may have to create something like this yourself, but it's not that hard. I'll show you the things that you absolutely must include in order to get an awesome sales copy page. So the first thing I have is, this is what I'm writing. The name of the book is called Maldives Madness. I know it's a funny name. I tell it what it is, give it some context. Everybody kind of knows this by now, that you need to give the AI some context about, hey, how can I help you? Because it could be anything. You're my writing assistant and you're going to help me write this book. So I tell it that right out. These sections are unique to my book. My book's kind of different because it's a story, but it's also a language learning resource meant to help English learners, English speakers learn Japanese. So yeah, I know, kind of a strange, random thing, but that's what I'm focused on. The next important part are the story parameters. I like to include a brief plot synopsis in here about the story, about the characters, what's going on. Again, we're focusing in the AI a little bit more. I give it the setting, I give it the genre, the POV. You don't have to go this deep if you don't want to, but the more you give it, the better. Then I talk about the characters in the story. This is a second person story, so the reader is a character. Then we have these other characters in here. I have all of their information. This is their character profile. So that's important. The next absolute important thing that you need to include in this process is your outline. Now, my outline is a little bit more detailed than the average outline. It doesn't just contain story beats. It's also basically the entire book, because once again, I've been using AI to help me write the book. I'll have to make probably a separate video about that. But here is the entire outline, and this is what I'm going to give to Claude right now. And this book isn't long. Maybe it's a little over 10,000, 11,000 words. So not too long of a book. And here we are already at the end. So I'm going to take this, and this is going to be the first thing that I go into my Claude chat. And by the way, I'm using Claude Pro. I'm not sure how regular Claude would handle this task, but I'm using Claude Pro. So if you're using not the Pro version, then you may get different results. So keep that in mind. So another thing I like about Claude is that it pastes this in as a text document. So that allows me, instead of ChatGPT, where that will take up tokens or take up space in the AI's memory, then the only thing that's going to affect, the main thing that's going to affect the memory is what I write, so it doesn't get in the way. So next I want to put in my prompt. So with a good sales page, you want to have your target reader well in mind. If you've written sales copy before in the past, pre-AI, you know this can kind of be a pain in the ass to get all of your demographic and psychographic information and find out who's your target reader and do all this research. We ain't got time for that. Now we got the AI to help us get very close to what we want for our readers. So with this prompt, I'll show it to you here. Write a basic reader profile for this book. Who do you think the target audience would be? Include psychographic, demographic, and other information that will help me identify the right person to market my book to. So this will be my first prompt that I give to Claude, and let's just hit that. So seeks adventure, interested in vacation. Okay, good. 18 to 35, male and female. Good. So it's giving me some ideas, and it really is pretty in-depth. Young professionals, exotic island. Good. Both male and female readers. This is great. This gives me a good approximation for what my sales copy is going to be focused on. Like, how are we going to write this? What should be the words? How should we address this? So you can do the same for your book. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into the actual copy itself with a prompt. I like to format, if you've never written sales copy before, I like to format my sales pages in with 3 sections. The first section is the headline. I like to start with a strong headline just to give a 1 sentence, why should I give a care about this thing that you're selling me for a reader. It tells them, hey, this is what it's about. Then I like to, we talk about in copywriting features versus benefits. Features are the things that are appealing about your book. Why should a reader care about your book? Why should they even buy it? This may be harder for you because, like I said, mine is a language learning resource meant to help people learn Japanese. So it's a little bit easier to find the practical uses for it. You may have to dig deep with your story. Think about, is there something appealing about the story? Is it different about the way it's told? What about the protagonist? Does it have a message that is important that readers of that genre would like? Is it like another existing story? Is it like Star Wars? Is it like Harry Potter or something like that? You want to put those things in because they point the reader to the fact that, hey, if I like those things, maybe I'll like this too. So I challenge you to come up with at least 3 features. We're going to get Claude to help us with the benefits and translating that to why it's helpful for the reader and why they should invest in this book. So that's what I've done here. I've listed out all 5 of the main things that I think are somebody would get out of my book. And then I tell it, focus on communicating these in the sales copy. So I'll copy and paste this. And let's see what Claude does. Introducing the thrilling new interactive sports adventure that has readers raving. I love how presumptuous it is. Escape to the paradise and level up. Very nice. Headline. Experience the drama and excitement of your favorite sports anime. This is great. If you love shows like Haikyuu and Yuri on Ice, so it's pulling these, like I said, I mentioned Harry Potter and I mentioned Star Wars. It's pulling these other things that are applicable. Haikyuu and Yuri on Ice are 2 sports-centered animes. So that's perfect. If they liked anime and sports, maybe they'll like my book too. And then it bullets out the benefits, also giving me the features, effortlessly pick up the phrases, complete with furigana. Okay, so it's going to assume some things about your book just based on the context. So certain things you'll have to go back and massage. Don't just read the story. Okay, great. This is a great start. Now, what I would do if I was doing this for an actual sales page or for like doing this, I've already done it. So if I was doing this again, is I would go back and forth with the AI. I would go through this and say, I want to change up the headline, or I'd like to change up the format. Maybe I'd like to include subheadings in mine to make it more skimmable and make it easier to read, especially when people are scrolling really fast, right? This giant block of text, maybe they're not going to read it. So I like to put things like that in. Just other things that you think are missing or things that you think are inaccurate. Sometimes it'll screw up, like it was saying like, oh, your story's set in Okinawa when it's really set in Maldives. There's 2 different islands. Things like that. I would go back and forth until I got closer to what I wanted. So let me show you the final result. This is the final sales page that I got after going through this process. So boost your Japanese proficiency and confidence with an epic sports drama set in an exotic locale. And then I go into it. Like I said, I subhead all of my benefits so readers can immediately see, bam, bam, okay, what's it going to do for me? What do I get if I buy this? And then, of course, include a call to action because it knows this is a sales page. The last section that I like to include, it's a personal touch, is in about the author section. And maybe this is different for you, especially if you're writing under a pen name or something like that, and you're not really doing, putting your face out there or whatever. But I think this is important, especially in our day and age where we have tools like Claude and ChatGPT to just generate stuff, because you and I both know there's a lot of people generating a lot of bullshit out there, just stuff that they don't really know anything about, but hell, they think it's going to sell, they're going to make a few quick bucks, and that's fine if people are doing that. That's not me. I want people to know that I've been studying Japanese for a long time. I live over here currently. I really enjoy Japanese culture, and this book is based off of my actual life experience visiting the Maldives. So I decided to write this story. So I wanted the readers to really know that and connect with me on that level. So whether or not this increases my sales or not, I don't know. It's not really as important to me, as this is kind of a personal integrity thing to me, to just say, hey, I want to connect with my reader in this way. So I like to include this section. I write this section all on my own. You can use the AI to do it if you want. That's fine. It just feels more natural to me to write it on my own, and it's probably faster because it's going to get closer to what I want. With that, that's it. That's all you need to write a great sales page using Claude AI. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. If you want to hear more from me, my name is Keith Hayden. You can find me on X, Twitter at KH_author. And I also have a newsletter called The Creative Futurist, where I talk about creative technology and personal growth. Every Saturday, I'm sending out a top 3, where I talk about the top 3 things that I'm thinking about or experimenting with for that week. So you can find it at thecreativefuturist.xyz. I'd love to have you as a reader for my newsletter. I think it'll be very helpful. Thanks again for watching.